TST is proud to present the latest update for the Peps Laser software, introducing the 2020.1 revision. My name is Anthony. Thank you for joining us. Today we're going to cover the basic installation portion, the pentacut side, as well as the tube cut side updates. TST offers support through on-site or web training, along with the helpline via phone or email. Via phone, we can be reached at 248-922-9293, or by email through support@tst-software.com. If you have any questions regarding anything throughout the software, obviously please make sure to let our help desk team know. We also offer tech days, such as the webinar today, offering free information about the new and upcoming releases, as well as an unmatched level of support and service throughout all of our products. The installation prerequisites for the Peps 2020.1 software are through Windows 7, 8.1, Windows 10, and only supporting the 64-bit versions of those operating systems. The VDM files that are created and saved through 2020.1 can be opened in 2020.0 as well. Windows 7 sunset. Microsoft is ending the support for Windows 7 as far as January of 2020. Peps will continue to be supported on Windows 7 through the 2020.1 release. Peps will officially not be supported with the Windows 7 operating system as far as the 2021.0 release coming in Q3 of this year. Now what that means is that Peps will still continue to operate on the Windows 7 system, and you can still go through and install it. However, if there are any bugs that are related back to the Windows 7 operating system, they will not be fixed. Please try and get your systems updated to Windows 10 before Q3 to make sure that you're not receiving any issues with the latest release. The translators have had various updates for the new software. This includes continued support for CATIA, ASUS, DWG, DXF, IGES, Parasolid, NX, SolidWorks, Solid Edge, STEP, as well as being able to export out that ASUS, STL files, DXF, DWG, IGES, Parasolid, as well as STEP. The general system overview, they've updated the installation. They're making it easier that you can copy the user settings during the upgrade. So what you'll do is you can save a snapshot out from the previous version that you're migrating from. This allows you to transfer the user settings, your toolbar layout, as well as colors. This also includes all posts and machine configurations. This will also include if you have any custom user technology that you've saved through the years as well. The overall improvements to the system: there's a new button for use of simple font for etching. This can be found within the text command for pattern cutting, as well as imprinting enhancements for imprinting this text onto the solid. In previous versions, we saw issues where the text was not coming out as clear or legible, and this has been fixed. They've introduced additional sorting methods as well, so that way when you're running the auto cut, you can have it sort by length, by face, by start points, end points, by coarse fine, as well as heat avoidance. All post errors are now grouped together within one window. So if you have any errors that pop up that end up showing that there's a bad pierce, where you're not piercing into the actual piece of the cut and you're actually piercing on the part, if you have any collisions, or even looking at cut order as well. This will all be produced in one window at the time of post-processing. Continued overall improvements. They've corrected the beam offset when it's being applied to pattern cuts. The pierce types previously omitted from a dialog box are now available. There was an update to the reporting system during the post-processing phase for the setup sheets. There were some general file open issues attempting to open older VDM files. This has now been corrected. There's a new menu option added into the job list, allowing you to renumber the cut sequence list. The manual arrangement moving cuts has been made easier by always displaying the selected cut, and this would happen when you had a long list of cuts that you were trying to manually drag that cut, and the window was too long, you would lose sight of where that cut actually was. Axis limit errors now show a different blue warning icon, which allows you to differentiate between the collision detections. So that way there's a nice visibility on if it's a limit error or if it's actually a collision at the time of post-processing as well. For the Pentacut side of the software, there have been a few updates. This includes the graphic and camera view adjustments. There's now an automatic refresh on graphics. As you're zooming in and out, it will attempt to rebuild the graphical display. On older systems, this can actually slow down the PEP system, but within the system settings, you can decide whether you want this turned off or on, as well as the sensitivity of the refresh. The view will no longer update to an XYZ ISO view when using the model position onto machine bed. So if you've positioned that camera angle to be centered over the table, and then you go into this command, it's no longer going to readjust your views automatically. The camera view also no longer adjusts automatically when going into the grid fixture design as well. So again, making sure that if you're inside of a top view and you're looking to see the grid view, those lines as an overlay to the part, the camera view no longer automatically adjusts itself. There's now also a quick addition to pattern cuts. So this allows you to add holes and laser cuts within the one easy step. So when you go into the 3D menu and you go into the solid primitives, this allows for quick changes to the part, which also allows you to add the tooling or the cutting to that as well. So here we'll have a video just showing this in action. So under the different 3D commands, you can pick which type of solid, you can input in the values. I can pick the vector position based off a face, and then I can also readjust the XYZ positions. When I pick the part and hit add tooling and create, it jumps right into the auto cut portion of this. And you can see here that it detects that shape as a pattern, and you have the ability to adjust whether it's a pattern or a solid cut, as well as adjusting those values for the pattern cut as well. Now to take a look at some of the tube cut side improvements. Here we have some pipe and positioning improvements. The auto pipe positioning allows you to select the attached wire frame to position this as well with etching, whereas before you could only select solid bodies. This allows for rotation around the machine axis for better pre-positioning through the nesting process. There's also been improved recognition of imported solids for auto positioning along the machine pipe axis. There were known issues with certain imported files that came in from Parasolids or SolidWorks files that weren't being detected and automatically aligned, which caused additional time for the user in programming, and this has now been corrected. There have been some multi-nest improvements. We now have compatibility with Parasolid files, so there's no need to add or program the tooling on the file beforehand. So you used to have to open up a file, add all of your cuts, save it down as a VDM file, and then you had to use that VDM file as part of the multi-nest. The import nest details, you can do this from a schedule or CSV data files now, as well as the Parasolid. So down on the bottom left-hand corner there, you have that file open, which allows to be able to pick from those two types of files as well. Now have the ability to drag and drop files directly onto the multi-nest interface. This includes those Parasolid files, VDM, as well as the CSV and schedule type data files. You can use colors to highlight similar parts within the nested program now. So this way you can actually see which parts are the same just on a quick visibility level. As well as nest images are shown within the new multi-nest report. A full list of changes. The release notes for the current 2020.1 release can be found on the FTP site with the install kit. A list of all changes can be found in the version release notes found under the latest install. This can be found through the C drive under Program Files, Hexagon, Peps 2020.1, Pentacut, and Help. This also correlates to the TubeCut version as well. We'd like to thank you for taking the time to watch this webinar on the Peps 2020.1 release. Thank you.